Jason Harris.
Let's pray, please. Father, we want to thank you, Lord. Father, thank you for another day, Lord. Father, we just want to praise and thank you, Lord, for everything you've done for us, Father. Show us, Father, to make the right decision for the county, Lord. Father, please bless all the sick, poor, and hungry, Lord. Bless our soldiers and our veterans, Lord. Bring them home safely, Lord. Father, we just want to praise you, Lord. Father, I pray, Lord, you bless Brother Carl, Lord. Lord, touch him, Father, Lord. This we ask in your gracious name. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you call the roll, please.
Avery Rice,
Present.
Bridget Peters,
Here.
William White,
Here.
John Mosley,
Here.
Kenneth Burl,
Yeah.
Jim Wilson,
Here.
Warren Thomas,
Here.
Jason Harris,
Here.
8 present, 1 absent.
Item number 4 is to approve the minutes of the prior session.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made by Glenn White,
Second.
second by Jim Wilson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? At this time, item number 5 is to recognize our visitors and citizens. Anyone that'd like to speak, you can step up to the microphone, state your name, and speak to the commission at that time.
So I'm sure most of you know me by now, I've been up here a few times, but I'm Carter Powers, and I'm the student council president up at the high school. And at the October commission meeting, I actually talked a little bit about our plans to run for the state's secretary convention house. And I talked about how we bring about 700 kids in 60 schools to Unicoi County. And we went a little bit further in our planning with that, and we're asking, Ms. Rice, you asked me to come back and we could talk and see if y'all were able to help in any way. And so I've got more details if y'all want to ask me questions about it. I've got a few of our student council here with us. Brenna Jones, she's our junior class secretary. Alex is our senior class president. And Christian is our junior class president. And he would be one of our candidates that we would put up at the state convention this year. So is there anything y'all would like to ask me about our plans for it?
How has your funding come so far? Yeah.
When we went to New Orleans a little bit, that was in October, the school board actually helped us out quite a bit financially. And we have a little bit of money with that left over, but what we're using that for is the bus to get down there. Because the bus has always been the one thing that pushes us into debt the most. This time what we're worried about is hotel stays, getting kids to go and actually be able to help campaign for Christian. And making things like buying candy to take down there, poster boards, just different campaign materials and allowing us to go.
How much money are you asking?
Anything that you can help us with.
Give us a figure, Carter, of how much that you actually think it's going to cost to get you there.
I mean, a few $100s would make campaigning so much easier for us right now with our campaign materials and different things.
And we need this money by when?
Probably about mid-February would be at the latest, because the convention's the first weekend of March, and so we need to be getting all of our campaign materials together by then.
In the past, we've had, quite like we had money set aside in our budget. This year, we cut back quite a bit, but the mayor and I discussed this a few weeks ago, and he was going to check in to see what we did have available. Mayor, do you want to address that?
We actually, you all put $500 into that discretionary line item, and that was quite a bit less than what we had before. And we've used that funding in the past for such things as this. We've used it in softball teams who want to state tournaments and they need money to go. We've used it for agricultural students and vocational students to go to competitions, and other things involving high school students or even grammar schools. And we have $500 in that line item.
Well, I'll make the motion, we give them $500, if something else comes up, we'll deal with it when it comes.
I'll second that.
John Mosley made the motion and Jim
motion, I
I'm
said.
sorry. Can we do that with the, off the floor? Can we make that motion without it being on the agenda?
Yeah, we can just write, we don't even need to vote, I guess we'll just write it, sure.
Okay.
But the thing is, we'll have to come back to y'all and ask y'all to replenish that for other groups that may come in.
Let's help them.
I've done a
Since
wonderful
it's
job.
government.
We appreciate it.
And
Yeah.
I know that $500 might seem like a lot, but we're going to be campaigning against, it's one of the biggest schools in the state, Arlington High School. We've got about 2,500 students down in Memphis, so this would really be a great honor if we could just bring all this back to Unicoi, because we started out 3 years ago, we took about 4 kids down to the school in Brentwood where we're going to this year. And this year we're actually predicted to be probably the biggest school ever down there. I think we're bringing about 35 to 40 kids from our student council. So we're really excited just to get the opportunity to try to host this convention.
We appreciate it.
That would come out of the commission. Do you know the line item? Do you know, Phyllis, right off what that line item is? The county commission, other charges on the county commission. Do you need the exact line item? Okay. It would come out of the county commission's budget. So we have a motion and a second. I feel like that we still should say all in favor or say aye. Any opposed?
Appreciate it.
Thank you all very much. Do I need to just come see you Mayor Lynch sometime, or I don't need to go back?
In my office again, the ladies.
Alright, is that tonight? Because we're actually about to head out to mock trial. We're in the small room over there tonight. I mean, would today be better or some other day? What do you?
Georgia, Wednesday, Thursday, when are you leaving?
It's March 3rd that I think we'll actually be going a day early. Me and Christian and one more student will be.
It's sometime in the next week or two.
Okay, yeah. Thank you all so much. That's going to help us
Appreciate it.
tremendously.
Thank you, Carter.
All of it.
Thank you.
My name is Chris Tipton. I am a resident of Unicoi County. I was born here. I spent most of my life growing up here. Excuse my voice, I have asthma, it's difficult to talk, so just bear with me. I moved back home 15 years ago, and I became very active in trying to preserve the history of Unicoi County. I have worked with the Unicoi County Historical Society. I've written many articles in the newspaper. I've given all kinds of historical presentations, hundreds of them. I've promoted local events, historical events. I've obtained historical markers, and I wrote a book. And I've done all of this presenting the history of Unicoi County in a very positive manner. And everybody that I've ever asked to write an article, I've always asked them to write an article of historical importance that also emphasized our county in a positive manner. So as a concerned citizen and a county resident, I'm very concerned about the request of 8 county commissioners to draft a resolution against federal law and against marriage equality based upon their biblical interpretations. I did not realize that the December 28th work session was a Bible study to find justification for discrimination and a vote for a resolution of the same nature, clearly a violation of the separation of church and state, no matter what legal loopholes might be used. I do not support the resolution in any form because the proposal for a resolution has unleashed hateful speech into our county. The various resolutions from other counties promotes hate crimes against other human beings and U.S. citizens. The hate crimes of discrimination, abuse, brutality, violence, murder, and civil unrest. I remember all of the hate and violence that happened in our recent past when couples from different races tried to obtain a marriage license. Biblical interpretations were used then to deny even the right to love. Racial state laws were declared unconstitutional in 1967. History books can also tell you about several churches that used this biblical justification to keep 4 million slaves in brutality and bondage before and during the Civil War, an event when millions of Americans suffered because of denying equality and rights. Historically, the marriage license has been caught in a web of power and money, of perks for some and not for others. Today, marriage license gives one tax breaks, partnership benefits, spousal property, personal rights, hospital visitation and decision-making, inheritance, and many other benefits. Possibly, we should abolish all civil marriage licenses. I assume that our country's history of intolerance was over, and we all know that we do have a history of inequality, intolerance, and violence. But I thought that was over, and I thought we could move ahead, and we could have a bright, positive history moving forward with progress. And I'm very happy about all of our progress in our county. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of our county, and I'm very proud of my people here. But I also had a student come up after a history class that I taught at ETSU when I told them that I was from Irwin. And she told me, she said, my mother called me from Philadelphia and told me to never go to Irwin. I've heard other stories like that too in this county. I also checked on websites for train enthusiasts because I thought for tourism and for the enjoyment of our own Unicoi County people, a train viewing platform would really be nice. It's been very positive for other communities. But when I checked websites for train enthusiasts, what did I find? I found out a warning for Irwin. It is unsafe to go there.
What website was that?
You just look them up. Any
Well,
of them.
no, what
Well, your
website?
time's up, man.
Yeah,
You're
that's
not on the agenda.
No, I am on the agenda, and I was given approval by the mayor.
Well, that's fine. First of all, I'd like to
So in
correct
other words,
you.
I don't have a
Now,
voice.
you got a 40.
And I will get back with you on
On
that.
December 28th, there wasn't a Bible study here. That's wrong. There was just a group that came to us. We didn't come to them. They came to us and brought an issue, which they have a right to do, just like you have the right to do.
Well, she had 2 minutes marked there.
Okay? But all these facts that you're saying that Irwin's a bad place and
That's
talk about
what's wrong.
slavery and all this, I don't see how that relates to this issue
It
at
does.
all. It doesn't. You're
It
stirring the
tells our
pot.
history.
You are stirring
We
the
don't
pot.
need to, Chris, we've had enough in my book. You're not, you're on the agenda. Your name's not on this. She calls for visitors, and you're
2
not on.
minutes is enough.
And visitors get 2
Intolerance,
minutes.
discrimination, and hateful speech
I'll make a motion.
does not promote economic
Let's
development,
just let her go ahead and.
does not promote tourism or pride in one's community. I hope the commissioners will reassess their actions, preserve the separation of church and state, and promote a peaceful community of compassion and goodwill.
First of all,
Thank
a resolution from this county commission is not going to overturn a Supreme Court case law. It's just not going to happen.
That's not
Okay?
it.
And so, you know, this stuff with hateful speech, I've not heard of any hateful speech.
No,
Let's see, a Bible study? There was no Bible study on December 28th. It was just a group that came and presented a viewpoint.
Thank you
Which-
for clarifying that.
Okay, so,
Because all I know
Let's see.
is what I read in the paper.
well,
don't read
Both
the paper.
papers.
what paper?
Irwin Record, Johnson City Press.
Well, and I should agree with that. Let's see, next one was marriage license is a PAL, we make money and benefits and so forth. Marriage license has been the rule of law for years, you know.
And they have been changing laws too.
Ma'am, this is not even on the agenda tonight.
So
I know it's not, but
but
the mayor
if
gave you
anyone's
approval to
spewing-
speak, considering your past actions.
if anyone's spewing hateful speech or controversy, it's speech just like what you're saying right now.
Let's go on the agenda, Chairman. Let's
That's
go
exactly
on.
what it is.
I
Appreciate
say
it.
those.
Thank you.
Okay?
So much for compassion.
Chairman,
There's no compassion to it.
can we go to number 10 and get it over this, so leave?
We've still got our visitors and citizens. We've got to go through our visitors and citizens. We still haven't recognized all our visitors
Well,
and
I mean,
citizens. Yes.
Let's take that for a minute.
You know this.
Commissioners, I was going to bring up some issues that's going to have to be addressed in the highway department on some equipment. You know, the salt and stuff takes a toll on it. I've been looking into some stuff, trying to get, I'm not asking this for any money or anything, I'm just bringing it up, but I'm going to try to work it into the budget. Like a backhoe and stuff, it's $104,000. We got trucks running, we're going to have some new trucks, $95,000 to $110,000. And the trucks that I've got is wore out. And I have town trucks over there that sit all winter long, we don't use them. Because all the roads in the county, gravel roads, have been resurfaced and paved.
Go ahead, Terry. You can pay for it, go ahead.
And I'm just saying, no, I don't bring this up that I'm looking into it. I'm looking, what I've got on here looking at is almost $500,000. And that's just what I'm trying to do. But I know I can't get all of that, but I do want to know that when time comes, if I have to come back, I may have to get this on the capital outlay note or a contract. And I think on a contract, does the commission not have to approve it? Is that not the laws?
How many trucks you talking about right now, Mr. Chairman?
I'm needing 6 trucks right now. Yeah. But 2 of them, the reason 2 of them are so high, they're got front wheel drives, these mountain terrains. And like I said, I know, we're not going to say, I'm looking for that, I don't know if we can do that. I did not fund anything, budget anything for equipment this year at all, in order to cut the budget down.
I think you ought to do some research and get some, we have a road committee meeting or something and go over this.
Well, I've done quite a bit of it, and there's issues out there that we can buy now, Region 1, 2, and 3 on mutual agreement, we don't have to bid equipment.
You don't have to stay there, no more.
Don't have to bid no more, because the state covers. And we have
State bids.
yeah, we have a thing now we can buy without even bidding, it's called MTG thing, that they do all the paperwork, but you have to join that thing. And it's like $2,000 or $3,000, don't they take care of all of that? Of course, there's money in everything. We've got credit out there at 2.9% interest on it, and there's just some other stuff going on. We're not the only county that's suffering, all the counties are. The governor himself is dedicated $68 billion, not million, $1 billion to road work. If one goes from I-40 down to UT, it's $780 million, one lane. Not counting what he's putting into Chattanooga. So the money that we're getting, and we've still got this, thank goodness we've still got this 98.2 so far. So, they give us 2 years on it, maybe possibility of extension on 2 years. It's something that I'm looking into. It's not I'm going to jump into this thing. I've got to wait to see where the money stands. But those tandem trucks I'm having twice, they sit all the way along. I don't even need to use them. When we're out there, we got extra sets, 4 extra tires we're using, twice the diesel fuel, twice the insurance. And we're paying insurance on them sitting there. We're not able to use them anymore because we really don't need them. When the counties have come together on this mutual agreement, if we do get in bind, we can call on another county, come in and help us, and we don't have to pay for it. So it's something that I'm looking into, it's nothing going to be jumped into, we're just trying to work it out. And we have a guy that's in Knoxville that's trying to help us the best he can, and we go from there. I just want to bring it up for you all, to tell you what we do need, and we'll take whatever we can get.
We appreciate it. You do a wonderful job.
Thank you, Terry. Is there anyone else who would like to speak at this time?
comment on the resolution. I'm not here to argue or anything. And this has something to do with another bill that came out. The Tennessee Natural Marriage Defense Act. Have you guys heard about that act? This recently came up in the Senate. It's already pushed down. It was really bad law. But what I found interesting with it was the cost of the bill. The cost of the bill for the state of Tennessee not being compliant with federal law and recognizing same-sex marriages came back at $8.5 billion yearly for the state of Tennessee. Now, where that money came out of was what was really important. 6.5 billion of that 8.5 billion came out of TennCare. 2 billion came out of feeding programs for the neediest people in Tennessee. So that would be the SNAP program, and it would be the Tennessee Assistance for Needy Families. Something I'm very passionate about is making sure that every child in Tennessee gets the meals that they need and has the nutrition that they need to be able to get the education that they need in our schools.
Well, was this Tennessee National Defense Act, was it voted down in the legislature?
It was.
Was it? It was it not?
It didn't pass the first viewing.
Okay.
But
So,
similar, that was what they were coming back with the cost for
What's that?
international. The cost of the bill was just strictly based on if Tennessee is not compliant with federal law and what the cost of the state would be. And it was 8.5 billion annually. Either we would have to pick it up because we'd lose the federal funding for federal
but the bill was
programs.
voted down.
Yes, but many similar bills, that's just one bill. You know how this goes. They're marker bills. They
The
pass,
legislature's not going to pass anything
that will cost
Tennessee
8.5 billion.
It's not.
But that's,
All this is where American citizens have a right to voice a disapproval against a federal law. They can say, I don't agree with that. But now, if it goes against the minority, okay, which is what this is, then what we have is, oh my gosh, flags go up and never go to Irwin, it's a Bible study, that's what you get. Okay? But Americans have the right, okay? Americans have the right to say, I don't agree with that Supreme Court decision. Now, let me give you a quick lesson in American government because I teach it. Okay, Article 6 is called the supremacy law. Okay? Now listen, same-sex marriage, I don't agree with it. And I have the right to say that. Okay? But it's the law of the land by one vote, 5-4. So no matter what we pass here tonight, and I don't think it's not on the agenda, it's not even going to affect, it's not going to affect anything. It's just we have the right as individuals, as citizens, as politicians, as county servants to say, I agree with it or I don't agree with it. But when we do that, when the majority, of course 7 years ago, the state of Tennessee overwhelmingly rejected same-sex marriage by 81%. In Unicoi County, it was 88%. So when that 88% says, I don't agree with it, then the minority gets up and talk about bigotry, talk about calling names, talk about causing problems. That minority causes the problems. It's not the majority. The majority has the right to speak. Okay? As you have the right to speak, but you're mentioning a bill here, it's already been voted down. I don't know why you're coming to us about this.
because
Just the name.
there are other bills that are going to be going through Nashville.
Okay?
They're all marker bills. They'll keep sending them through committee until they can get something.
That's called a democracy.
And I understand that.
Okay? That's
My
called a
concern-
democracy.
My concern was with the cost of the bill,
And we all
and then when that money came out of the state budget, that it was going to be affecting the neediest people in
I
Tennessee.
think our legislators are more intelligent than to do anything that would hurt the citizens of Tennessee concerning federal money. Okay? And that's.
And I agree with that.
And
But
that's
as a
right.
citizen in
We-
Unicoi County,
Mhm.
I'm coming to you as a representative for my county and saying, this is what I'm seeing, this is what could happen with this stuff, and I don't appreciate it. I don't agree with it,
You got your
and
right.
I'm going to you and asking the people that represent
But
me
you
in my
mentioned the
county.
bill that's already been voted down. That's what I don't understand.
Because the bill only went with if we were against federal law. There's gonna be other bills that are coming out there.
Okay,
They
that's a
write
democracy.
20 or 30 different versions of the same bill and send it through committee.
So what do you want us to do about it? What's your point?
What I'm saying is that is something I'm concerned about. I want you to have that in mind when you're talking about these resolutions. This can hurt our county, this can hurt our state. I don't want us to be on the wrong side of history here. I don't want us to sacrifice the neediest people in Tennessee because of what we personally believe. I'm not here to argue about that. You can believe whatever you want to believe. But I don't want it to be at the sacrifice of hungry kids here.
Resolution, if we did pass a resolution, it wouldn't affect federal law. It just
Then
wouldn't.
why are they going around the state asking
Because they
each
have a
other?
right to do it.
Well, and I have a
Because
right
they,
to ask you
that's
not
right,
to
they
say
have the right to voice their opinion. Okay, but
You're not on the agenda.
but
And again,
what I
I'm
asked
not
Madam Chairman
comments,
to
I'm just
do,
answering his question.
and the mayor, let's put the issue on the ballot in August.
Mayor, when's this gonna be on the agenda?
And then let the people of Unicoi County decide what they want.
Don't argue with it.
Hey, Mayor.
Waste your time.
Yes.
When's this gonna be on the agenda? This-
Anybody
The
else?
resolution.
Mayor,
Yeah, the resolution.
well, we got our hands on another resolution today. That's what we talked
Why are
about.
we discussing it?
Well, it's
No,
a
because they
big,
brought it
big
up.
one off.
Well,
They're allowed to,
It's
minister, they just take the court
So
of.
that's what it is.
this is just during our regular visitors or
And,
citizens,
and,
you know, the.
and you've got a right to come and say your viewpoints, and that's American Boxer. But this citizens group that came on December the 28th, they had the right to come too, okay?
And I understand
There
that.
wasn't
but
nothing.
I don't need to
Yeah, and they wanted, and there wasn't nothing. big
You're not
about
on the
it.
agenda, you're taking the court over, so you need
I'm
to
not
sit down.
attempting to take it over, I was just answering Mr. White's.
So I think we need to go on that side.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Do we have any other visitors that would like to speak at this time?
I'd like to have a point of discussion, if I could, since it's on this issue. Madam Chairman, what can we do as a county commissioner, and my fellow commissioners may not want to do this, but this is going to be an issue that's going to happen. We know it's going to happen, whether we vote for the resolution or not for the resolution. You know, it's just one of those big issues. Can we not put it on the ballot for August and let the people decide? What's the process of that? I mean, can Mr. Schultz, what's the process of putting this on the ballot? And letting people in Unicoi County decide?
I don't believe it's something that there will be an election on whether you're for or
Well, we
against.
voted on it in 2006.
But you can talk to Ms. Bailey and see if she can find something. But I really don't believe there's a pigeonhole for that, where that goes on the ballot for or against gay marriage.
There's only certain things that we put on the ballot.
Well, but in 2006, it was on the ballot.
I don't know what you're talking about was on the ballot.
Marriage, same-sex marriage was on the ballot in 2006. And it was 81% of Tennesseans voted no, and 88% voted that they were not for it. So my point of view is, let the people speak.
They already have.
You know, no, that's just your group. I'm talking about.
I'm saying
Let's
the
go,
county
let's
has
go,
already
let's go on for number 6 here. If they want on the agenda, they get on next month.
Why don't we just put it on the ballot and let the people decide?
Well, it don't work that way.
And you might,
Let's go on,
as
Madam
the,
Chairman.
you know, as the attorney spoke, you might need to check with Ms. Bailey. That might be a good point. We need to research this some more, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to research and make sure that what we bring before the commission is the right thing to do. So we can continue with that. Okay, at this time, item number 6 is to recognize,
Chairman, I'd like to go 10 first.
oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Mr. Grant, okay. We can do that. Item number 10 is to discuss and approve the resolution for the CDBG application for the South End water line.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion's been made by Gene Wilson and second by Kenneth Garland.
And before, can I have a discussion on that real quick?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to talk to Mr. Brown. I thought y'all did a good thing on waiving the fees. You know, $1,150 for me is a tremendous amount of money, and I think that's gonna help, that probably will help your participation. If you had not done that, I would not be for it, but I'm glad that you did.
Anyone else have a question or comment or anything for Mr. Brown?
Just hope we get it.
Good luck this time.
Sure.
We need to
Ms.
vote.
Seward, if you want to call the roll, please.
Jason Harris.
Yes.
Kenneth Carver.
Yes.
Glenn White.
Yes.
Bridget Peters.
Yes.
Marie Rice.
Yes.
John Mosley.
Yes.
Warren Thomas.
Yes.
Gene Wilson.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
We appreciate the support and we'll keep you posted as to the progress on this project.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, this time we will move back to item number 6, which is recognize Lima Dow with the Children's Advocacy Center.
Hi, I'm Lena Gal with the Children's Advocacy Center of the First Judicial District. And we are coming with you to present the resolution regarding the Victims Assistance Fee Program, which I believe you all received packets of. So I can tell you more about it or answer questions.
We did discuss this in our work session a little bit, and just had a few questions. Do you know about what categories or what these $45 will be applied towards? I know that the attorney said Class A misdemeanors. Do you know what other types of tickets, fines, or whatever it would be attached to, or do you have any idea?
I do, and I have a copy, I have copies for everybody if they need it, regarding the Tennessee code that this resolution comes out of. And basically it's class A misdemeanors and above. It's not traffic violations unless it's a DUI. So speeding tickets or anything like that is not included in this fee. Do you all have copies of this?
What especially are you asking us to do tonight?
So it would be to approve a resolution, the Victims Assistance Fee,
This one here.
yes, which would increase court fees by $45. 3 of that would go to the county court clerk, and then 42 to the Children's Advocacy
And I
Center.
think we discussed that the $3 would go first to the county, and then
And then the rest,
would come later.
absolutely.
Well, I like to say, yes, I think it's a good group. Any issue that Mrs. Bailey puts her name to, I'm for it. She's an outstanding person, teacher, and so you've got a good advocate right there.
Thank you, I agree.
Okay.
We appreciate what y'all do.
Yes, we do.
Do we need to make a motion to approve the resolution?
Either we can approve this one, or we can check with the county attorney to see if he would want to rewrite the resolution to be more specific, to be maybe more specific to our county.
And I think it's probably good to make all of us let the county attorney look at it first, shouldn't we? With the resolution.
And I don't know if there would need to be any wording put in there that the county, the fines and the fees for the county would come out first, and then it would follow. You know, do we need to put anything like that in the resolution, or will that be something that Mr. Shelton will do in the clerk's office?
We could add that to the resolution if you like.
I'll make a motion to table it till next month, to go over and get it back. Well, not next month.
Is that what you would recommend, Mr. Schultz?
If anything.
You want to specify for the clerk, the clerk mentioned to me that it might be helpful to him if it's, people don't usually pay their court costs all at once. In fact, a lot of times you don't get your court costs at all. So the question is this prorated or is this on the end? So it may be helpful to the clerk that he knows whether this is on the end of the court costs he's typically collecting or prorated. He mentioned that to me as we walked out. So we could add that to this resolution if y'all want to specify how it's to be collected.
Okay.
Is this from DUIs on up?
No, DUIs are not included.
It's not included?
Class A misdemeanors, and above.
We had 350 cases last year in Unicoi County.
Yes.
It says, and over 350 in urban area.
I think it's 80 for Unicoi County, 350 total is
Okay.
what we have.
350. Yeah, anything we do to help out, I'm all for it.
So we have a motion, actually, this is, we're just, tonight, we have down to recognize, but I guess the motion from Mr. Harris, you may want to reword that we put this on next month's agenda.
Yeah, I make a motion, we table it and put it back on next month's agenda
And that was second by Kenneth Garland.
until the attorney made that.
Easy.
Will that give you enough time, Mr. Schultz?
Yes.
Is that agreeable with you
Yeah, that's
all?
great.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, we don't need to do a roll call because all those are different. Yeah, well, I guess the motion, I guess we could, yeah. All in favor of the motion to table this to next month's meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 7 is the quarterly reports.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made by Kenneth Garland,
I'll second it.
second by Jason Harris. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 8 is to approve the Unicoi County Water District Commissioner election.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion's been made by Kenneth Garland, second by Jenny Wilson. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I abstain from it.
Pardon?
I abstain from it.
Item number 9 is to approve the county road list.
I'll make a motion to approve it. Second.
Motion's been made by Jenny Wilson and second by Kenneth Garland. Is there any new roads added, Terry, this year to the road list?
No, I mean, the only thing we done is just gravel road that came up, it was county road lease service did. Just not added to the list, and we was in work.
We appreciate all the work. I know we've had a long weekend. We appreciate all that, and we appreciate all the work from our law enforcement and everyone else.
Appreciate all of it.
But
Amen.
all in favor of approving the county road list, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 11 is to discuss and vote on the approval of Rural Health Services Consortium contract for inmate health care.
I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Motion's been made by Jason Harris. Who come in with the second? Was it
John.
John Mosley? John Mosley seconded that. Any discussion or? Ms. Seward, you want to call the roll for that item?
Glenn White,
Yes.
Lauren Thomas,
Yes.
Jason Harris.
Yes.
Bridget Peters. Yes. Gene Wilson.
Yes.
Kenneth Garland.
Yes.
John Mosley.
Yes.
Marie Rice.
Yes. Item number 12 is budget amendments. The county mayor's $1,330.82. The sheriff's department's $43,551.66, and the health department was $24,5906.
What line items is all these coming out of?
You should have a letter in your packet that would explain all the budget amendments, but Some of those was grants in the sheriff's department, some of the larger items was grants that was coming back in.
I'll make a motion, we combined all three of them.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made by Gene Wilson to combine all the budget amendments into one, second by John Mosley. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 13 is an addendum to discuss the county commission meetings. It says to adopt the resolution establishing county commission meetings and work sessions. And we had some discussion about this earlier, so
I make a motion, we just have one 6 o'clock meeting and have work sessions special work sessions as needed.
I'll second.
motion's been made by Warren Thomas to have just the 6 o'clock session and work sessions as needed, and it was seconded by Gene Wilson. The resolution that we have currently in play calls out the 5 o'clock sessions. Can we just make a line through that section of that resolution? Or do you need to reword that resolution?
We vote on them separate.
I'd like to make a comment.
Okay.
Well, I can ask some questions.
Yeah, Mayor was asking me a question while y'all were discussing, say that again.
In the resolution, I'm trying to find it here somewhere, but in the resolution, it has the work sessions included, the 5 o'clock sessions, and the motion was made to just do the 6 o'clock session and not have the 5 o'clock work sessions.
You could, I could change the resolution, just delete that. We'll just delete that. We're not gonna do the work sessions anymore.
Right, and if we did a work session, then we'd have to like have a special meeting just for a work session.
We could just say that that should be deleted, and then I'll bring the clerk's office a corrected resolution for the mayor to sign and enter on the minutes.
Madam Chairman, I'd also like to bring up again the fact that when we do this, when it comes time to call a work session, we'll need to publish it. Paper, and we'll need to also publish the agenda. That will be called, especially calling when it takes the floor.
Let me comment on work sessions again. That's something that we started when Ms. Wilson was chairman. She kind of came from the Board of Education that seemed to like work sessions. And we never did work sessions. The Open Records Council for the state of Tennessee has opined, and there's a large, she has the authority to make opinions, that a work session is a session. You don't have to even have a public notice of what is really a work session. It's not a public meeting, but a work session would be where somebody came in here and talked to you, and you all didn't do anything but listen. That's what a work session is. So when we use that word work session, we don't have work sessions because you all participate actively, voice your opinions, have a back and forth. So all you're really having when you have these work sessions is a meeting. So if you don't schedule it, then he has to give the public notice just like you would for a regular meeting. And I think that's what he's saying. He's got, if you want to have a work session, that's fine, but he's going to do the same meeting public notice as we would for a meeting. It's going to be the same cost we get.
It'd be probably like a 7-day announcement or more to be sure the public's aware of it.
I make a motion to do away with the work session. Have 6 o'clock regular meeting.
That's the motion that Mr. Thomas made earlier.
Is that what?
Yes.
I say.
Thank
It's already.
you. Me and Kenneth agreed on something.
I'm going to vote against it. Everybody thinks it's free, it's free on
Okay.
Make a note of that.
First time on record. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Item number 14 is to elect notaries.
Make a motion. We elect
Second.
Motion's been made by Jason Harrison, second by Kenneth Garland. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? I will accept motions for adjournment at this time.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Kenneth Garland. All in favor say aye.
Mr. John Wilson's birthday today.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you all, appreciate it.
Yeah.